Rain tapped gently on the window as Lily folded laundry in the dim light of her bedroom. Ethan's shirt smelled faintly of his cologne. That same scent she once loved, now almost too perfect to be real. When she reached into his pocket, her fingers brushed against something crisp. She pulled it out, a receipt. Her smile faded as her eyes traced the words, "The Grand Eden Hotel. Dinner for two. One room, champagne." Her breath caught. The date printed below was the night of their anniversary. The same night he told her, "I have an urgent meeting, love. I'll be home late." Her world didn't collapse instantly, it cracked quietly, piece by piece. She stared at the receipt for a long time, feeling her pulse in her throat. When Ethan came home that night, he kissed her forehead as always. "Hey, sweetheart, sorry I'm late again," he said, tossing his keys on the counter. Lily smiled, pretending nothing had changed. She served dinner, listened to his day, laughed at his stories. But behind every smile, she was memorizing his face. The man she thought she knew, the liar he had become. After he fell asleep, she sat in the dark beside the window, clutching the receipt. The streetlight flickered across her wedding ring. She whispered to herself, "I'll find out who you really are, Ethan." The next evening, Lily called the Grand Eden Hotel. Her voice was steady, controlled. "Hi," she said sweetly. "I'd like to book a table for two, the same one from last Friday, table 14. The receptionist hesitated. "Ah, yes, that's a lovely spot. 7 o'clock?" 8, she replied. "Perfect." Ethan thought she was meeting her friend Claire for dinner. He kissed her cheek before leaving for work. At exactly 8 p.m., Lily arrived at the hotel. She wore the same perfume Ethan once said drove him crazy, just to see if he'd notice. The waiter led her to her seat, and as she looked around the softly lit restaurant, her hands trembled slightly. Then she saw him. Ethan, smiling, relaxed, walking through the doors, holding another woman's hand. Lily's stomach turned cold. They sat at table 14, her table. Their table. For a moment, she couldn't move. The laughter, the candlelight, the way he looked at the woman, it was all too real. Tears welled in her eyes but didn't fall. She wasn't there to cry. She was there to end it. She stood, adjusted her dress, and walked slowly toward them. When Ethan saw her, his smile vanished. "Lily?" he stammered. The woman turned in confusion. "Who is she?" Lily placed the receipt on the table. Her voice was calm, but her eyes burned. "You forgot this in your pocket. I thought you might need it again." The silence around them was heavy. Other diners turned to look. Ethan reached out desperately. "Lily, it's not what you think." She cut him off with a quiet laugh. "It's exactly what I think. You lied. You looked me in the eyes and told me you were working, while you were here." The woman across from him spoke nervously. "Ethan, what's going on?" Lily looked at her, not with anger, but pity. "Don't worry, I'm just his real wife. But it seems you're the one he chose for this week." Ethan's voice cracked. "Lily, please, let's talk about this in private." She shook her head. "No, Ethan, you made it public the moment you walked in here with her." She took off her wedding ring, placed it beside the wine glass, and whispered, "Dinner's on me. But this was your last one." Then she turned and walked away, leaving him frozen in silence. Outside, the night was cold and strangely quiet. Lily stood beneath the neon glow of the hotel sign, breathing slowly. For the first time in years, she felt something unexpected: peace. Her phone buzzed. A message from Ethan. "Please come home, I can explain." She typed back 3 words. "There's nothing left." Then she deleted his contact. As she walked down the empty street, her wedding ring still warm in her hand, she whispered to herself, "Maybe losing him isn't the worst thing. Maybe trusting him was. A week later, Lily received an envelope in the mail. No return address. Inside was a note written in a woman's elegant handwriting. "Thank you for showing me the truth. I left him too." The other woman. Lily smiled faintly and folded the letter. She didn't hate her, not anymore. They were both victims of the same lie. She placed the letter beside the old receipt, tied them together with a ribbon, and whispered, "A lesson paid in full." Sometimes the truth hides in the smallest places, like a folded receipt in a liar's pocket.